Hello, so I'm here to talk about Holton Hill. Got suspended again, not to be, yeah. But the first time he was suspended, well, earlier in the offseason, it was for PEDs, which can be interpreted a little differently, as there are some substances that the NFL doesn't always make clear with the players, as they constantly do say that, and you end up with some situations where it's like maybe there was a banned substance in like some kind of like whey protein shake or something of that nature, and all of a sudden they're suspended for 4 games, which happens. Obviously, don't like it, but whatever substance was in there deemed illegal by the league. So that was a little bit more up for interpretation, maybe. However, this one is for substances of abuse and things of that nature, which usually is marijuana. And that's far more concerning, especially considering the player we are dealing with. Sorry. As he did have issues with marijuana. He had some weed issues down in Texas before he went undrafted and all of that kind of stuff. And now it's kind of creeping up again. Not a big fan of that. So, as of right now, he's unavailable till week 9 when they play Kansas City. And I say as of right now because I don't know if that's going to dictate whether or not he's going to be on the team or not. But we'll have to wait and see with that. And obviously, I think this is a massive disappointment to see, as this is a player with a lot of talent. He was probably going to be somewhere, you can probably pencil him anywhere from like third, fourth round, probably, had he not had the the marijuana troubles back in college. And a lot of people kind of thought he could potentially be the replacement for Trey Waynes, and who did have some trade rumors around him, mainly because of how well Holton Hill played last year in limited time. And generally, teams do know about these, suspensions and what the player did before they come out publicly with this player has been suspended for X amount of games. Usually, teams know that that's probably going to happen, and I do think that's probably why it kind of felt like Minnesota never really seemed to be shopping Trey Waynes as much as some probably thought they should have been, because maybe they knew that he kind of had a run in with this, and they just didn't know if he was going to get caught or not with it. But on the safe side, you keep Trey Waynes, because obviously if you take Holton Hill out, which he is now out for half the year, you kind of look at the corner depth, and if you were to trade Waynes now, you rely on Mike Hughes, who, yes, is a first-round draft pick, but is also coming off a torn ACL. And I think last year we kind of saw what happened with Dalvin Cook when they tried to rush him back a little bit too early, instead of maybe waiting and giving him the time to properly recover to really get the full amount of snaps per game. And all of a sudden, if Waynes is gone, now you have to. He's no longer. Mike Hughes is no longer on a pitch count. He has to play corner every game. Like he will be a starting player, and that's probably not something you want coming off of a torn ACL like that, especially considering he basically didn't even have a rookie year. And corner is one of those positions that sometimes takes a while to get used to. Look at Mackenzie Alexander. Took a while to get used to, although some of that was due to stubbornness, but still, point is, you lose that kind of availability now if you were to trade Waynes. And I do think this pretty much confirms no longer trading Waynes. And they did draft Chris Boyd, so hopefully that does help Mike Hughes kind of a little bit. Maybe he does, because, like I said before, you don't want to rush him back. So maybe if Chris Boyd shows enough, it could be more rotational than that, and just kind of help the blow to the overall depth of corners that we have. Even though I do think they still have some pretty good depth there, especially when you're considering they have a first-round corner on the bench. So there's that. And I do think we do need to ask the question of, is this a deal breaker? Does this mean he's off the team? Do you cut Holton Hill? I don't think you do so just yet, but definitely skating on thin ice, because Minnesota would not do any better when it comes to finding a corner that's better than him for as cheap as him. you're just not going to find it. And if they were to cut him, they only get like a little under $300,000 back in cap, which really isn't enough to really cut him in my mind. And I don't know, this feels like he has too much potential as of right now to say, well, one run in is enough. Maybe two, it's like, he's on the chopping block. But I don't know if one run in is enough to get rid of him based on the fact that he still could be the replacement for Trey Waynes. And I don't know if you want to do that just because the odds of you finding a cheaper option on that is not high. And you have to consider the fact that they are very, very tight up against the cap from this year and moving forward. So, and for those who saw, they did work out two corners today. One you are more likely to have heard of than the other. Dexter McDonald is the one you probably didn't. He is a 7th-round draft pick from 2015 by the Oakland Raiders, and he never really got too much time playing with them. The other one is a veteran corner named Orlando Scandrick, who played a bulk of his time with Dallas, I believe, for 9 years. He was in Kansas City last year, and he recorded 1 interception and a personal best for him of 13 pass breakups. So he's more of a nickel corner. He would probably offer some more veteran experience behind Mackenzie Alexander, and Mike Hughes can just worry about playing the outside corner as opposed to also learning the nickel spot. And I would like to know what you guys think on the Hill suspension once again, and whether or not you think he should be gone or not, things of that nature. But yeah, until next time, I bid y'all adieu.